Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Dan Meyer's photography workshop. Today I'll be showing you how I mat my small prints. It's very important that you present your photography in a way that people find it easy and convenient to look at and shop. If you're interested in selling your work, whether it's photography or regular artwork for people to frame and put on their wall, it's very important that you present it in a way that's organized and easy to understand. When people walk into your store or gallery or booth, they should immediately be able to tell what you're selling and the prices of what you're selling, and easily get through your material so that it makes sense to them immediately. And that way, you're not putting any blocks in front of people buying your work and the way you display your work. You want people to be able to understand within a few seconds exactly what you're doing, what you're selling, what material, what the subject matter is, what the prices are, and make it as convenient and easy and quick as you can for people to browse your work and possibly purchase it. If you make it too difficult for people to enter your booth or your store or your gallery and understand what you're doing, it causes confusion, and that does not usually lead to a sale. So it may seem obvious, but it's very important to make sure that you fulfill that end of what you need to do. So without further ado, I want to show you how I mat small prints. Now, the smallest print that I sell is a 6x9 that I printed on my printer. I have an Epson 9900, and I use Epson Legacy Burita paper with pigmented ink, very highly archival, will last a really long time. These prints will last a long time. So that's a very high quality print. One of the things I should mention before I get too far along into the matting is the philosophy I have about how big I make my prints and how I present them. I like to have uniformity in what I do, because the uniformity makes my job a lot easier, and it makes the public, when they look at your work, be able to understand it a lot easier and quicker. So my philosophy is to keep all the prints, the small prints, this is the smallest print I sell, at this size. Now, sometimes it's vertical, sometimes it's horizontal. Most of the time it's horizontal. And by keeping it uniform, the size of the print and the cropping of the print, I can standardize what I'm doing and make my job a lot easier, and also more economical, because I can buy the mats in quantity and not have to worry about having all different size mats. So what I did was I went to local AC Moore and Michaels and Hobby Lobby, and I looked at the frames that they had for sale that were off the shelf. And the one that seemed the most common and available to the purchasing public was the 11x14 frame. So it's very reasonable. It comes in a wide variety of colors and styles. And to me, it just made sense to make my small size prints fit those frames, because it just is so much more economical and convenient for your customer to go ahead and frame those after they purchase the matted print. So I made the print, I made the mats 11 by 14 to fit the 11 by 14 frame. And then I figured out how big I wanted the mat, and I made the print fit the frame. And I made the mat fit the frame, and I made the picture fit the mat. So I know a lot of artists and photographers work the other way around. They create their prints, and then they worry about framing them or matting them, or let the customer frame them and mat them. I decided to go the other way around, start with the frame and work backwards, so that it made my job easier to do this, and it made the customer's job a lot easier to frame them and put them up on their wall, and more economical. So I think in the long run, you'll sell a lot more prints the easier and more convenient and economical that you make it for your customer. So that's the philosophy behind what I do. I sell almost probably 90% of what I sell is this size print and this mat to fit the 11 by 14 frame. I do sell frames in my booth. I have frames underneath the tables where people can actually buy different styles of frames to fit this, so people can customize right on the spot what they want to do. If they don't want to go to a store to buy a frame, they can buy a frame right there in my booth. So to get started here with the matting, another thing that I do is when I make the print, every print that I have in my computer, every image that I have also has a number associated with it. I call it a stock number or a print number. Now, at the time that I print, I write that, I go ahead and put the number of it right on the bottom of the print here in the corner. And what that does is it makes it super easy for me to follow through when I go to do the matting, to make sure that that number is somewhere on the print, so that when the print is sold, the people who take the money, my shop is at a co-op, so the sales girls need to have a stock number to record in the cash register so that I know exactly what print was sold. I do not title my work. Sometimes I do title my large prints that I'm selling. The small prints are only identified by a number. I have found that if you title your work and you start putting in, say I took a picture down in Cape May, New Jersey, and I go ahead and put that on the title. I put Cape May Sunset or something like that. I have found that that limits the sale of the picture, because people might love the picture, but they'll say, oh wow, I really love that picture, but I rarely go to Cape May, and I'd rather have a sunset somewhere else. Well, that's a problem, because now you lost a sale because of the way you titled it. So I stay away from titles. I just go with numbers. I found, like I said, I have for the big prints that I frame or mat or stretch on canvas, I do title them, because it seems like people want titles for the larger ones. But for the small prints, I do not title them, because I found that it will limit the sale. So the first thing I do is assemble all my materials. I have the mats. I have backs that go on the back of the mat. I have the plastic sleeves, cellophane sleeves. I have the labels that I'm going to use. I have my prints. I also have my tape. I use wide tape, wide shipping tape, and I also use temporary double-backed tape. So the first thing I do is I go ahead and get a stack of mats and sign them. I go ahead and sign a big stack of them. It makes it go a little faster, right down here at the bottom. And then I flip it over and I take the 3/4 inch temporary double back tape and I put a strip on both ends on the reverse side of the mat. This helps, it's like mounting tape. I use it to mount the picture. Now, if I go ahead and mat it without writing the number down, I'm covering up the number and I may not remember the number. So before I go ahead and mat the print, I'm going to write the number down on the sticker. And these are the stickers I use. I'll show it in a close-up in a second. So now I have the number of the print on the sticker, and I'm ready to go ahead and put the mat on the print. Also, when I make my prints, I make sure that each print has a very fine black line that's about 1/4 inch away from the picture. And that line helps me, that border line around the picture, helps me to center and line up the mat. It makes it a little easier. So I highly recommend that. So now I'm going to go ahead and line up by using the lines, making sure that I just barely cover those lines. And if I do it correctly, the mat will cover those lines right on the edge of the inside of the mat. Push it down, make sure it's sealed, push it a little bit to give it a good seal. And as you can see, it's centered pretty nicely there. It's very hard to get it absolutely perfect, but the lines do help a lot. And I have found nobody's ever complained if it's just a tiny little bit off. I do like to have a little bit of white around the picture. I don't have the mat actually cover the picture like a lot of traditional, maybe people who are more traditional want the mat to actually go over the picture a little bit. I'm not crazy about that. I like for my customer to see everything on the picture from edge to edge. I just like it that way. It's just my preference. So once that's mounted on there, you can flip it over and take a back and put the back on. I do not attach the back to, I don't tape the back to it. I just leave it loose. And then I take the sticker that I wrote the print number on and put it down near the bottom of the back. So here's the back of the print, and here's the sticker. It has my name, has my all my contact information, my web address, and the print number. Then I take a cellophane sleeve. I get these from clearbags.com. Great company. Slip it in. Now these bags have a cellophane, glue strip that's covered by a piece of another piece of cellophane. So you have to get a hold of that and take that off, and you can discard that. Now you can see the little flap here. Here's the glue strip and the flap. Always get the bags that have the glue strip on the bag, not on the flap, because if you have to take the picture out, or when the client takes the picture out, there's a danger of the picture touching the glue strip, and you don't want that. So get the bags that have the glue strip on the bag, not on the flap. These are available from clearbags.com. Great company. So once you have the strip off and the glue is exposed, fold the flap over, seal it down. It's super quick, super easy. Then I have a second sticker. By the way, these stickers are 2 inches by 4 inches that I get at Staples. Now this sticker, by the way, I print all my own stickers, and the same printer that I make my prints in. And this second sticker has my booth number, which is required by the co-op where I sell my work, and a short description, double matted original photograph, ready for standard 11 by 14 frame. $25 each, 3 for $60. So that goes on the outside above the sticker that stays with the print. Now this sticker that I just put on here, when this cellophane bag is taken off, it'll go out with the bag. And all that will be left sticker-wise is my name and my contact information and the print number. Then I take a wide piece of tape, which is just the regular shipping tape that I also get at Staples, and that goes over the label that I just put on. I like to have something covering it. That way it keeps dirt and marks from getting on the label. So that's basically it. I have my signature down here, 6x9 print. The mats I use are double mats. There's a black inside border and a cream outside border. Double, 2 stickers, and that's it. That's how I do it. Now, just for a quick review, you're going to take your mat, turn it over, take a strip, place it on this end, take another strip. These are about 6 or 7 inches long, and you have 2 strips on the back. You're going to take your print number and you're going to put it on the sticker. All right, so I have the sticker ready to go. I'm going to lay the print down. Keep it square with the table. It'll help you line it up visually. I'm going to hold it over with I'm going to have my thumb sticking out a little bit because I don't want that tape to touch the picture yet. I want it to just hover right over the picture, not touching the picture, so I can line it up. And once I have it lined up, takes a few seconds. Take your time, get it lined up, and then slowly depress it with your thumbs. Tack it down with your hand a little bit, and it's pretty straight. Then you're going to put the back on. Take the label that you have the print number on. That goes on the back. Take a sleeve, slip it into the sleeve. Peel off the glue strip to expose the glue. Fold the flap over. Push it down a little bit. Take your price label, put that right above the first sticker so they're one above the other, and then cover that with some tape, and that's it. 2 beautiful stickers, a beautiful print, and a beautiful mat. Everything ready to go. So now when your client, these are the bins I use for these prints. I had these custom made by a friend of mine who's handy with, he has a wood workshop, so he made these for me. See how nice these stand? These, so when this gets full, this will hold about 50 prints. People can flip through these very easily to see the variety of prints that are in here. The store that I have now has 5 of these full of prints. So I carry probably 200 to 250 of these small prints in my store at all times. So there's a nice variety, and people find it very easy to search through my prints, and it's just works for everybody. Works for me, works for the client. Everybody's happy. And I will say that most people buy 3 because I do offer a special price for 3. So that's about it. Um, you need to make that extra step. You need to make sure your work is presented in a professional way, that people find it convenient and easy to understand and look at your work. People don't have a lot of time today. People are usually in a hurry. And if you're presenting them with a big variety of prints, you need to make it fast and easy for them to search through your prints and understand right away what you're doing. People don't want to spend more than 5 or 10 minutes in your booth picking out what they want or trying to figure out if they want to buy. So make it easy for them, make it convenient for them, make it quick for them, and you'll find that you may not make a sale the first time they stop into your booth, but they will have a pleasant, fun experience. They won't find it difficult or challenging to see your work and understand your work. The next time they come in the store, now they're feeling good about what you have, and you might make a sale the next time or the next time. But you have to understand that the feeling that you give people when they're in your little booth or in your that gallery is very important. So by presenting your work properly and professionally, you're giving them that good vibe that is necessary to create that feeling that people are not being inconvenienced or challenged in any way to understand your work and pick out what they really want. Because if you're giving them a big variety, they need to make a lot of decisions. They need to really, if you're showing somebody 250 different prints, you're showing them a big variety, and they may want to look at every one of them. So, and if they do, if they want to look at every one of them, you need to make it quick and easy for them to do that. If you don't, they're not going to look at every one of them. And if they don't look at every one of them, they're probably not going to buy because they're they're not seeing your whole collection, and there's going to be that uncertainty that maybe they didn't get to see something better than what they already saw. So make sure that you do the job properly. If you're going to try to sell to the public, you must follow through with a nice, easy way for them to see your work and understand your work. So that's it. Thank you very much for watching. This is Dan Myers from Dan's Photography Workshop, and I'll be teaching all kinds of things about photography, not just how to sell your work, but how to take the photos, edit the photos, print the photos, the entire workflow. So stay tuned for more videos, and thank you for watching.